Every classic recipe demands you sift your flour. Everyone does it. But molecularly speaking, are you just wasting your time?
Or is skipping this step actually responsible for destroying your cake structure? Stop guessing.
Welcome back to Bakeology. Today, we decode the scientific truth about the sift. We were taught that sifting was essential for three things: hygiene, aeration, and removing clumps. But for modern commercial flour, thoroughly whisking your dry ingredients for 10 seconds usually does everything sifting can.
Molecular science proves that the hydration process ignores your temporary sifting efforts. The liquids crush the air pockets. Remember from our first video, your flour's protein level dictates texture, not the aeration from sifting. So for 90% of everyday baking, like cookies, brownies, or standard cakes, you can grab a whisk and skip the sieve. However, don't throw your sieve away. Sifting is non-negotiable in two specific situations. Rule 1. Lumpy ingredients. Sifting is the only scientific way to break apart stubborn cocoa or powdered sugar lumps. A whisk can't break hard lumps. Those lumps won't hydrate and will create dry pockets in your final cake. Use a sieve when ingredients are visibly clumpy. It ensures every particle can properly absorb the liquids. Rule 2. Delicate egg foams. This is critical. Some cakes have no chemical leaveners. Their structure relies only on trapped air. In angel food or genoise cakes, the structure is fragile. If you dump heavy flour directly, you will crush the delicate air bubbles. Sifting allows the flour particles to fall like gentle snow, making them much easier to fold in without collapsing the batter. We are sifted flour to achieve three goals: break clumps, ease folding, and reduce the overall mixing time needed. Finally, pay very close attention to your recipe's wording. It can alter the final weight of flour you use. Because sifted flour holds temporary air, it takes up more space. A sifted cup is lighter. An aggressively packed cup is much heavier. Measure order matters. 1 cup sifted flour means sift first, then measure. 1 cup flour sifted means measure first, then sift. This simple distinction can quietly change the texture of your bake by adding too much or too little flour. The ultimate solution here at Bakeology: stop using cups. When recipes provide gram measurements, use a digital scale. Using a scale removes all the uncertainty caused by packing or sifting flour into a cup. You will get the exact amount every time. The final verdict for the laboratory: for everyday baking, thoroughly whisk and move on. Whisking dry ingredients is sufficient. But for delicate foams, clumpy powders, and precise gram measurements, the sieve and the scale are your best tools.
Main lift comes from chemical leaveners, steam, or incorporated air elsewhere in the mixing process. For most cookies, brownies, breads, and butter-based cakes, thoroughly whisking the dry ingredients is usually sufficient, provided the flour and powders are not visibly clumped. So when does sifting actually help? There are three main situations. First, delicate foam-based cakes. In recipes like angel food or genoise, sifted flour spreads more evenly across the surface. That lets you incorporate it with fewer folds and a lower risk of deflating the egg foam. Second, clumpy ingredients. If cocoa powder or powdered sugar has visible lumps, a fine mesh sieve is usually faster and more reliable than whisking alone. And third, when you need to evenly distribute tiny amounts of baking powder or spices into a large batch of flour. Finally, pay close attention to how a recipe is written. 1 cup sifted flour means you sift first, then measure. 1 cup flour sifted means you measure first, then sift. A packed cup and a sifted cup can yield noticeably different weights, and this difference can be large enough to change the texture of your bake. The best solution? Whenever the recipe provides gram measurements, use a digital scale. It removes most of the uncertainty caused by packing flour into a cup. The final rule for the kitchen. For most everyday baking, thoroughly whisk your dry ingredients and move on. But for delicate foams, clumpy powders, or volume-specific recipes, the sieve is still an essential tool. Hit subscribe to join the Bakeology Lab and start baking with precision.